Goku is one of the most iconic characters of all time. You can find him everywhere, from YouTube videos to cereal. The place you've probably seen him the most though is video games. Goku's journey in video games began in 1986. This is around the time it was becoming popular to have a gaming console inside your home. Despite the Atari 2600 spreading across the US and the Nintendo Entertainment System preparing to launch, the first system for Goku to appear on was the Super Cassette Vision. This legendary console was released by Embark, the same company that just so happened to also release the first game Goku appeared in, Dragon Ball Dragon Daihoku. I know, butchered the pronunciation. This was the only Dragon Ball game not produced or distributed by Bandai Namco. So what kind of game was the first ever Dragon Ball game? You guessed it, it was a shooter. See, at the time, top-down shooters were extremely popular. For this reason, Goku was placed in a game genre I never thought I would see him in. With over 100 more appearances throughout various games, is Goku portrayed in better ways than... Goku is known for his pure-heartedness, his unwavering determination, and his love for food. He is a selfless hero who will go to great lengths to protect his friends and loved ones, often putting himself in harm's way in the process. At the same time, he is a bit naive and oblivious to social norms, which can lead to some humorous interactions to say the least. Goku's abilities and powers are a major part of what makes him such an iconic character in the Dragon Ball series. He's known for his incredible strength, speed, and agility, as well as his mastery of the martial arts techniques. One of his most famous abilities is the Kamehameha, a powerful energy blast that he can summon with his hands. He's also capable of transforming into a Super Saiyan, a state in which his power levels increase dramatically. As the series has progressed, Goku has gained new abilities and powers, such as the ability to teleport or to sense the energy of other beings. These abilities and powers are integral to both the anime and manga versions of the character, as well as the video game adaptations. With Goku's personality and powers firmly in mind, it's time to ask the crucial question: how well do the video games capture the essence of this iconic character? Looking back at older games, it's interesting to see how they interpreted Goku's abilities. In Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3, the Kamehameha was treated as a special move, delivering a visually impressive energy blast that felt impactful. Meanwhile, in Dragon Ball Z The Legacy of Goku 2 on the Game Boy Advance, the Kamehameha was a standard energy attack. Due to hardware limitations, the move couldn't be as visually spectacular as in console games. However, it was a crucial gameplay element, demonstrating that even a less flashy Kamehameha can be satisfying when integrated effectively in the gameplay. Let's take a look at some of the more recent iterations of the Kamehameha. While the Kamehameha in Fighter Z stays faithful to the anime in terms of visuals, it often lacks the impact that its anime counterpart consistently delivers. Do you agree with that? Let me know in the comments below, and also make sure to leave a like on this video. The move looks good, but to me it doesn't quite carry the same weight of a decisive game changer as it does in the anime. Dragon Ball Xenoverse has a different twist on the classic move. Here, the Kamehameha move feels considerably more powerful, especially when fully charged. It's not just an eye candy move. It serves as a significant playmaker during intense battles, much like in the source material. The same pattern can be observed when examining other signature moves in some of the newer titles. Take the Spirit Bomb in Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3, for example. The game does a lot of things right. I'm glad they're bringing back the series. The Spirit Bomb in Budokai Tenkaichi 3 is a devastating move that obliterates opponents, but requires a considerable amount of time to charge. The accuracy of the Spirit Bomb in this game always gave me chills. It reflected the high stakes and power of the move just like the anime did. It was hard as hell to pull off, but when I did, that game was next level. Goku's Spirit Bomb wasn't the only one that was accurately portrayed either. I honestly could go into depth about a lot of the characters in that game. Let me know in the comments if you want to see that. Instant transmission has been creatively adapted into several games as well. It's mainly been used as a teleportation or evasive mechanic. In Fighter Z, it adds an interesting tactical layer to the gameplay, allowing for mix-ups and mind games that can turn the tide of a match. Thankfully, the newer games are not the only ones to have properly adapted this ability. The mechanic in Fighter Z can be traced all the way back to Dragon Ball Z Hyper Dimension, where instant transmission was creatively adapted as an evasive and surprise attack mechanic. Despite the limitations of the Super Nintendo, this mechanic added an unexpected layer of strategy to the fights and made combat super fun. If you haven't tried the game out and you actually like 2D fighters, I highly recommend it. Older games also had their own take on Goku's Super Saiyan transformations. Dragon Ball GT Final Bout, despite its flaws, made each Super Saiyan level feel increasingly powerful, with clear visual and statistical changes changes that affected gameplay. On the Game Boy Color's Dragon Ball Z Legendary Super Warriors, transformations were a significant part of the turn-based combat, boosting Goku's stats and changing his available moves. Despite their age and the limitations of their platforms, these games made a valiant attempt to represent the abilities. While they may not have had the graphical power to portray these moves with the same visual flair as modern games, they often made up for it with creative gameplay mechanics and faithful interpretations of Goku's character. Each game brings something unique to the table, interpreting Goku's abilities and transformations in its own unique way. While none can perfectly capture every aspect of Goku's powers from the anime and manga, they offer fresh and exciting perspectives on Goku's character that can keep us coming back for more. Did I miss a game or ability you wanted covered? Let me know in the comments below. I like doing this video, so I'm probably going to do more if this one does well. That's all I got for now. Thank you for making it to the Endgame Club, and check out one of these videos next.